Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another broadcast of The Lawrence Report. On tonight's broadcast, we will be discussing Jamie Foxx's new movie, The Burial. Now, this movie here comes with a bunch of A-listers such as Jamie Foxx, Tommyleejones, Jerry Smollett. This movie was directed by Maggie Betts. Now, let me tell you, this is based off true life events that happened in the 90s when a shady business goes bad with head actor Jeremiah. He meets this Canadian tycoon who doesn't really sign off on the contract the way he's supposed to be. We also find out later that the Canadian tycoon named Lauren, he is also doing bad business deals with people of color, black people as well. Let me tell you, Williegary, embodied by Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx completely outdid himself in this role right here. And when Oscar season comes around, Jamie Foxx may be one of those names that may be mentioned for this role right here. When it comes to Williegary, he completely captured the essence of Willigary's flash, his persona, the style, the grace that Williegary himself, still carries to this day right here. Any movie with Jamie Foxx, we tend to, always want to see it because that's just one of those A-list actors that is so revered in our community. Like I was saying, Williegary and Jamie Foxx, perfect casting right there with Jamie. Things, in the opening scenes, we see that this lawyer by the name of Mike is working with Jeremiah O'Keefe, who is kind of like in some bankruptcy trouble, with his situation with, his funeral home business. And it's Mike who suggests that, have you thought about selling a piece or a profit of your share to this company in Canada, the Lowen Group? That's the name of the group that's out of Canada called the Lowen Group. And, Jeremiah, he thinks about it and he says, okay, yeah, I'll do it. So they travel to Canada. But unfortunately, we see that, the Lowen Group really never truly sign off on the papers. Basically, they're waiting for people to die out in the baby boomer generation because they feel like they can, when people die, that they can cash cow those funeral homes with the people that are dying. So it's a bad business deal. And this brother right here, he's a young lawyer, just graduating, passing the bar and all those things. And Jeremiah O'Keefe, he decides to give this brother a chance. But of course, the other lawyer, Mike, is not really feeling him. In fact, Mike is kind of racist. Keep in mind, we are living in the Jim Crow South, right? So Mike doesn't really even, truly acknowledge this guy or his well-being as being a lawyer. And things come to a head-on collision in this clip right here. Take a look yourself.
Attached. And by the way, I heard Mr. Lowen's actually still selling insurance in the region.
Oh, come on. Stop with the conspiracy theories. Son,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but
exactly.
you're
Like I
really
said,
off
racist Jim Crow South, right?
Would you mind
So,
doing that?
whenever the Lowen Group finds out that, that Williegary becomes Jeremiah's lawyer, then for Jeremiah, he's like, okay, so we got our guy from Florida. It was this young brother right here. I should also mention this right here. That was this young brother right here. He saw Williegary on TV. He was watching him on the Lifestyles of Rich and Famous, and Willigary's this big trial lawyer down in Florida, and he's never lost a court case, believe it or not. Like, that's how good he is. That's how big he is in the black community. So they recruit Williegary. Williegary, he comes up there. He comes to Mississippi. This takes place in Mississippi, by the way. I forgot to mention that. So they come up to Mississippi, and Williegary, he brings his team. His team is all brothers, all black men, of course. And again, this guy here, Mike, kind of racist. Williegary meets him, and Williegary has some incredible questions that he wants to ask him. Take a look at this right here.
I got some questions I got to ask.
Oh, sure. Feel free to ask me anything. I'm all ears.
Good. Question is, how do you feel about working with black folk?
Yeah,
Man.
I know. I know.
Is there
I
any other
know.
way?
I know.
No, sir.
I know.
You want an honest
So
answer?
then,
I need
whenever
that.
you know,
Alright.
whenever the lower group, when they find out that that they're being sued, right? They recruit their own black lawyer themselves. And here comes Journey Smollett character, Mame Downs, graduated from Harvard, top of her class. Passing the bar. All around. Great lawyer. She's not new to this right here, but she takes on the lowering group's case because the lowering group, they find out that it's going to be held with more than likely a black judge, a black jury as well. So they kind of feel like it's not going to go in their favor immediately. So they're like, well, we got to recruit a black person of ourselves, and they do that, and the courtroom battle ensues, and things they go left and they go south, and just the courtroom drama in itself was a sight to behold. Because again, this guy right here, the Lowen Group, they're known to do these bad business deals, and it's been kind of like predatory. They've taken advantage of the black community, and also the black church in general. We find out within the movie that they make a deal with the black church, and that right there, that goes south as well. But in the end, we find out later that Willie Gary and his team, they do end up winning the court case, and a lot of things happen from there. As you can see, we have the settlement right here, and it shows this right here. Now, Willie Gary, he graduated from North Carolina Central. I have a tweet right here that I would like to show you guys right here. And the thing about Willie Gary, on this scene right here, in this picture right, actually, Willie Gary's on his private jet, the Wings of Justice. That was the name of his private jet, and he tells the story of how he came up. He was a sharecropper. His family, they came from slavery, but Willie put himself through school. It was a turn of events that happened in Willie's life where that caused him to want to go to school, actually. And with those turns of events, that changed the trajectory of his life forever. As I said, this movie right here was, for me, 10 out of 10. Jamie Foxx embodied this role right here. If you get a chance to see it, please do. And if you like what you saw today, please feel free to subscribe, comment, like, share as well. And I thank you for tuning into the Lawrence Report.